and then a little bit. Y'all! Look, I'm wearing all black because today is a sad, sad, sad day. They're making a supernatural prequel. Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why?
Can you not leave this dead horse alone? Stop kicking it. Leave it alone. Let it be. Por favor. Ignore my bandage. If you look at it, you're anti-black. Anyway, this is coming from someone who's watched Supernatural since the very beginning. Like, I'm talking 2005. I was 8 years old watching that pilot. Looking back on it, should I have been watching it? Oh yeah. Let's not comment on it.
Mind your business, David!
Spoilers, by the way, for this entire video. If you haven't seen Supernatural, I'm gonna be spoiling a couple things here and there. Spoiler alert! So right now, I'm actually going back and trying to actually watch the show all the way through. I'm on season 7 and I'm in very, very painful pain. And that's season 7 out of like 16. So this is coming from literally the most unbiased place possible. I love the show. I'm literally rewatching it right now, and let me tell you, it does not need a prequel. There's 3 really big issues with Supernatural, all right? 1, offensive jokes. 2, plot holes galore. 3, character torture. In this essay, who thought this would be a good idea? But I'm telling you, Supernatural, is that a bug?
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
And so right there, I was like, man, I gotta evacuate. I gotta get out of here. F this shit, y'all can have it.
No, not in my good America. This is a closed set, sir. All right, crisis averted. What was I even talking about? Offensive jokes. Now, I don't understand how Supernatural has had such a grip on the world, but they have the most like ignorant and offensive jokes just randomly sprinkled into the show, and you're just like, every time I'm like, please stop. At the beginning of the show, it'd be like really dumb jokes like, oh, Sam's gay because he likes to read and has feelings, or Dean is like really has like a weird fetish for Asian women with big boobs. That was like another running joke. But then like as the show goes on, they like also get into jokes about like sexual assault, which are just like, why are we doing that? At one point, Sam is trapped in hell with Michael the angel and Lucifer. For anyone who is Christian and reads the Bible, I just want you to take the Bible and just move it to the left, because it's like we're not going to be any type of biblically accurate for the entirety of this video. You just act like someone just read a Wikipedia article and then created the TV show. So Sam's in hell with Michael and Lucifer, and they heavily allude to like Michael and Lucifer raping him as a part of his like torture, and then they just joke about it later on. It's just like a thing. I'm like, I don't like that. I don't think that's funny. I think that's extremely traumatizing. And the worst part about it is that they're joking about this while he's in a super traumatized state. Like there's a whole season where he like hallucinates Lucifer is there, because like Lucifer did also was like just in his. It's bad. It's bad. Oh my gosh. So here's the thing. When the writers of the show first started, they planned out, like, I promise you, they actually planned out like the first like 3 seasons. It's very obvious when you're watching it that they had a storyline. There was a yellow-eyed demon, it killed their mom, made their dad go into a tailspin. They were trying to find the yellow-eyed demon. And like, that's the storyline, that's it. But then, like, the show got so popular and then they had more seasons to work with, so they're like, where do we go from here? The issue is that the writers have no integrity at all. They do not care about their characters, do they not care about the storyline. They literally just trying to do whatever they can do to make some money, which I get, secure that bag. Yup. So, 1, if you're a Christian, take the Bible and everything you know about it, move to the left, ignore it for the entirety of the show. 2, if you want to be logical and think about like, well, that doesn't really make sense because, ignore that. Move that to the right. You gotta ignore both to enjoy this TV show. For example, they both have legally and actually died, Sam and Dean, about 38 times each. to the point where it's like, I don't understand how you can just like walk around anywhere and people just don't immediately recognize you. There's 2 different times already, like 2 or 3 different times actually, where there have been like national manhunts to find them. And they're just like walking around like Milwaukee, like, hey, my name's George Smith.
My name's John Bonham. Isn't that the drummer for Led Zeppelin?
Oh my god, he on X Games mode.
And like no one says anything ever. And I'm like, I really feel like people would recognize you. You have very recognizable faces. Also, Sam is like 17'7". Like he's 88 feet tall. And they drive like a huge, like really conspicuous car. For a second, they like stop driving the Impala and they drive like this Mustang instead. But the Mustang's also super conspicuous. It's like a huge orange stripe down the middle of it. I'm like, are you guys even trying to be hiding? Because you're not doing a good job of it. Another huge plot hole is that they're actually really horrible hunters. Now, and I say this with absolute love in my heart. I love Sam and Dean, I do. They're really bad at their jobs. In a way that it doesn't make sense how they're bad at it. Like, for example, Dean. He has been hunting with his father. He's been doing this since he was a literal child. Like, I wanna, like, even if you were just trying to like round up or whatever, let's say he started when he was 10, you know? I think at where I am right now in season 7, this man is like 35. So it's been 25 years of hunting, and still, that he'll run into stuff or do things and be like, oh, I didn't know that you could use magical swords on the horse monster. How? How are you so confused all the time? How do you not know things? Because that's another thing too. Like sometimes Sam and Dean will be like absolute geniuses and be like, oh yes, that is the Herefordshire monster from the country of Hufflepuff. Yeah, we know about that. You just need to grab a pear and have it blessed twice by a Catholic priest and that thing will be dead in 20 minutes. And other times they're like, demons exist? What? How? That doesn't make any sense. Together they have over 2 decades of hunting experience, yet I'm telling you, every single time they ever win, which is like all the time, it's by accident. It's hilarious. They're just literally so dumb and so lucky. Which leads us into the next and probably biggest plot hole of Supernatural, which is that before they met Cass, who's a literal angel from heaven, they didn't believe in angels and like God and like heaven. Which, how? Now I know what you're thinking. For people who might not be religious, you're like, okay, well, like, yeah, they just don't believe in like God and whatever. Yeah, whatever. No, because these are literal demon hunters. So they believe in demons, they believe in hell and all that stuff, but they don't believe in angels and God or anything like that. To make matters even more mind-boggling, they use angelics and biblical stuff all the time to defeat demons. Like, they'll have water blessed by a priest because like if you throw that water on a demon, like that's how the demon will, like their skin will burn or whatever like that. They have rosaries, like, or oh, demons can't walk into churches and all this other stuff, and they're just like, it just so happens, that's how it works. We don't, it don't make no sense nowhere, no how. I just don't. I don't know if maybe Dean and Sam are based off of real people and the writers have real big beef with Dean and Sam, but they hate these men. I am telling you, and it's so painful for you as a viewer to watch. The big reason why you still will watch Supernatural and you will like love the show is because of Dean and Sam. I don't know what they did, I don't know what crack cocaine they put in these characters, but you feel for them, you love them, you want them to succeed in life, you want them to grow as people, and the writers do not want that. They want them to suffer. They want them to suffer. It's like to the point where it's like if I ever see anyone, literally anyone, become any type of anything, not like, I'm not just mean like romantically, I mean like romantic, friend, father, any type of relationship with Sam and Dean, they're going to die. It's going to be horrible and it will somehow be Sam and Dean's fault, and they will blame themselves for it till the end of eternity. They just want them to not be happy because that's apparently good plot. So at this point in the show where I am in season 7, it's been like 7 to 10 years since Sam and Dean have joined up and like gone on their demon hunting escapades together, right? And in this time, literally nothing has gotten better for them. Everything's gotten momentously worse. Momentously worse. They started out having to bebop between motels and eating like gas station food and vending machine snacks and having to count pennies to fill up their gas tank. They are now bebopping between motels, eating gas station food, and maybe they don't have to count as many pennies because maybe they might have money. I don't know. Their finances is also super confusing. It's very sad. I don't know what life they're living. Let me tell you, it's not a good one. I really honestly feel like a CPS, like a Child Protective Services agent that keeps being called to the same house, and I want to pull these kids out, but I have no like legal right to do so. So that being said, I'm sure the prequel is just gonna be another just like dumpster fire of just depressing storylines and character arcs of just running the Winchester name and family into the ground to make their lives even sadder and more morose than it already is. So of course I'll be watching. Just tune in on the channel for my opinions on it when it comes out.